Benny the bunny wasn't your average bunny. He was small, fluffy, and very, very curious. One sunny morning, Benny hopped through a field. He found something amazing.
It was a big blue carrot. I've never seen anything like it.
Benny hopped closer. He sniffed the blue carrot. It smelled like blueberries and sunshine. Benny took a tiny bite. Suddenly, the world began to spin. Benny closed his eyes tight. When Benny opened his eyes, he was in a different place. He blinked a few times, trying to understand where he was. The last thing he remembered was nibbling on a blue carrot in his cozy burrow. Everything was colorful and strange. The sky was a shade of purple he had never seen before, and the grass beneath his feet felt softer than any he had ever hopped on. Tall trees reached for the sky, their leaves shimmering with a golden hue. Flowers talked and giggled, their petals fluttering like tiny wings. Benny had never seen anything like it. Benny was in the magical forest. It was a place he had only heard about in bedtime stories. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Wow, this place is amazing! Benny exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. He felt like he was in a dream. But I feel a little scared. I miss my home. Benny's excitement was tinged with a bit of fear. He had never been so far from home before.
But then he remembered the blue carrot. It was unlike any other carrot he had ever seen, glowing with a mysterious light. It must have brought him here. Benny decided to explore. He took a deep breath and gathered his courage. He hopped deeper into the magical forest. With each hop, he discovered new wonders: sparkling streams, singing birds, and creatures he had never imagined. Benny felt a mix of excitement and curiosity as he ventured further into this enchanting world. Benny hopped and hopped. He came across a giant tree with a funny face. The tree started talking.
Hello there, little bunny. To find the hidden treasure, you must first solve a riddle.
The riddle was tricky. It was about things that rhyme. Benny scratched his head. He wasn't very good at riddles.
Oh, I wish I had a friend to help me.
The talking tree creaked and groaned, its ancient branches swaying gently in the breeze. It had seen many adventurers come and go, but none quite like Benny and Fiona. With a slow, deliberate motion, it pointed its branch towards a sparkly cave hidden deep within the forest. The cave shimmered with a mysterious light, promising untold treasures and adventures.
The treasure awaits, Fiona exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she clutched the treasure map tightly.
Benny and Fiona, filled with determination and excitement, hopped towards the cave. Each step brought them closer to their goal, their hearts pounding with anticipation. They helped each other over rocks and through bushes, their teamwork making the journey easier. Benny would lift Fiona over the larger rocks, and Fiona would clear the path ahead, ensuring they moved swiftly and safely. After what felt like hours of navigating through the dense forest, they finally reached the cave entrance. The air was thick with anticipation and the promise of adventure.
We made it, Fiona, Benny said, his voice filled with relief and joy. The journey had been tough, but they had made it together.
Yeah, Benny, we did it together, Fiona replied, her face beaming with pride. Their teamwork had brought them this far, and she knew it would carry them through whatever lay ahead.
Benny and Fiona were a little scared, but they were excited too. The unknown was daunting, but their friendship gave them the courage to face it head-on. Benny knew he could always count on his friend Fiona. She had been there for him through thick and thin, and he trusted her completely. Together, they were brave enough to face anything. With a deep breath, they stepped into the cave, ready to uncover its secrets and treasures. Their journey had just begun, but with teamwork and friendship, they knew they could conquer any challenge that came their way. Benny and Fiona stepped inside the cave. Wow! It was like a rainbow exploded everywhere. Sparkling crystals lined the walls. Each crystal shone with a different color. It was the most beautiful thing Benny had ever seen.
This is the treasure.
It's more beautiful than I imagined.
Benny and Fiona spent a long time admiring the crystals. They felt happy and peaceful. Section 7. The importance of sharing. Suddenly, Benny thought of something.
We should share this treasure.
He said.
Let's tell everyone about this magical place.
Fiona smiled.
That's a wonderful idea, Benny.
She exclaimed. Benny and Fiona decided to invite all their friends to the cave. They wanted everyone to experience the joy and wonder of the colorful crystals. Sharing the treasure made it even more special. Section 8. Friends to the End. Benny and Fiona left the cave holding hands. They couldn't wait to tell their friends about the amazing discovery. As they skipped through the magical forest, Benny realized something important. He had found a true friend in Fiona. She was smart, funny, and always there to help. Benny knew that with good friends by his side, he could face any challenge. Section 9. Benny's bravery shines through. Benny thought about how scared he was when he first arrived in the magical forest. The trees were tall and dark, casting long shadows that seemed to move on their own. Strange noises echoed through the woods, and Benny's heart raced with every step he took. He felt small and alone, unsure of what dangers might be lurking around the next corner. But with bravery and a little help from his friends, he had solved riddles, found treasure, and made the world a more beautiful place. His friends, a wise owl named Oliver, a clever fox named Fiona, and a kind deer named Daisy, stood by his side through thick and thin. Together they faced many challenges, from deciphering ancient maps to outsmarting tricky trolls. Each adventure brought them closer together and taught them valuable lessons about trust, teamwork, and courage. Benny learned that bravery wasn't about not being afraid. It was about feeling the fear and choosing to move forward anyway. He realized that everyone feels scared sometimes, even the bravest heroes in the stories he loved. What mattered was how you responded to that fear. Would you let it hold you back, or would you use it as a stepping stone to grow stronger and wiser? It was about facing your fears and doing the right thing, even when it was hard. Benny remembered the time he had to stand up to a fierce dragon that was threatening the forest. His legs trembled and his voice shook, but he knew he couldn't let his friends down. With a deep breath and a determined heart, he confronted the dragon, using his wits and courage to find a peaceful solution. And sometimes, the bravest thing to do was to ask for help. Benny learned that there was no shame in admitting you needed assistance. In fact, it was a sign of true strength. When he was lost or unsure, he turned to his friends for guidance and support. They reminded him that he was never alone, and that together they could overcome any obstacle. Benny's bravery shone brightest when he embraced the power of friendship and the courage to seek help when needed. Section 10. The Lesson of the Blue Carrot. As Benny and Fiona walked hand in hand, the magical forest started to shimmer and fade. Soon, Benny was back in his own field. The blue carrot was gone, but the adventure would stay with him forever. Benny learned that being brave and kind could lead to amazing adventures and even more amazing friendships. And that was a lesson worth more than any treasure.